Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Hey everyone, so happy you can join us for the Love Everyone podcast.
With your hosts, Govind Das and Rama Chandra Das.
A conversation of love, devotion, and walking the path of Bhakti Yoga.
Ram Ram. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Love Everyone podcast, episode 18. My name is Rama Chandra Das.
Hey, everybody. Jai-ho. Welcome. My name's Govind. Govind, I can't even remember my name. Govindas. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, man. You remember your name.
Welcome, everyone. It's great to be here again. Love Everyone podcast.
Yeah.
Hope everyone's doing great out there. We sure are doing good in here.
How are you doing? I feel like the LSD is already kicking in.
Just being in this LSD podcast, I'm feeling it, brother.
Well, I love that we've found the groove where we can record on Mangalavar as well too.
Yeah.
Because as we talked last week, there's just like an extra little something in the air on Mangalavar,
Yes, it is. It's so beautiful. Everything's great, man. Everything's wonderful. How about yourself? How was your album release party this past weekend?
Oh, it was super fun. It couldn't have gone better. It was just a beautiful night. It's a beautiful night. It was what was probably the most meaningful of the whole evening was how many people rallied to like make the event special. When we got there to set up at 3:00, there was like 20 people, 20 volunteers who just wanted to who they built 5 altars, and the whole place was just decked. There was like 1 million flowers, and there were all these beautiful altars, and everybody just put so much love and energy into it, so much so that I didn't even know really what was going on. Like, it was amazing. They just decided to do it on their own. Melissa and I didn't even really have anything to do with all of that. And they just showed up with truckloads of flowers and murtis and vases and all just so many blessings. So that was really special,
I saw some pictures yesterday on Instagram. The colors were just so rich, like the background and the altars and you guys, it was just really vibrant. The whole energy from even just a visual component of it looks so vibrant. So
they even hung like marigolds at the front door, so you had to like walk through like a drapery of marigolds, hanging down. So it was really special. And everybody had a great time, and some of my favorite people in the world were there. So,
and I know we had some friends fly in from California. Easy E played bass with you guys, right?
He did. Yeah, he flew up, and we had a few of our Chalisa satsang people also flew into town, and it was a really special night. Thanks for asking. You just got back from Tahoe or Reno?
Yeah, well, I was staying in Reno picking up my dog, but did a kirtan in Grass Valley. The first time I've ever been to Grass Valley. You know what happens in Grass Valley, right?
Did you kept your sobriety rolling?
I kept my sobriety even in Grass Valley.
There's a lot
it
of
depends on what kind of
Valley.
sobriety. I certainly was intoxicated, but it was on kirtan, not on grass.
That's amazing. Yeah. And you ran into Jai Uttal there, right?
Yes, we saw Jai recently
Uh,
moved there. We went to his house for a little chai prior. He just bought a beautiful house in Grass Valley, his first house he's ever bought in his whole life.
yeah.
And wow, what a vibe in Grass Valley, man. There is
Mm,
it's like a spiritual mecca, man. This place has just some deep roots, family vibe, spiritual family vibe. And
mm.
saw a lot of old friends, and Huddy Bull was there playing drums with us.
Bull.
Huddy Bull, he's a such a legend.
He is a legend.
A legend. The guy smells like cookies and cream, man, every
Always
single
has,
time.
right? He just like it's like a fragrance.
A fragrance it emits from him because he's
Yeah.
so in bliss. He's like, yeah, man, just been chanting a lot of the name, man. It's good, man. He loves it. He's a good
Uh,
man. And a couple other friends I
yes.
hadn't seen in years and years and years. My friend Chaitanya, she sung. I met her in India. She's part of ISKCON, and has separated herself away from it. She was born into it. But then, like many of the kids that were born into it, sort of separated from it. But she sings so well. She sung on my very first album in 2005 on the Maha Mantra track, and she has this really Indian sounding voice.
Mm,
And to hear her sing again, I haven't seen her in 15 years at least, because she's been in India most of the time, actually hanging out in Goa. And gosh, to hear this girl's voice sing, she is something else.
mm.
So it was a beautiful
Did
night.
she sing with you guys or
Not on stage, but
no?
I love to call on people to sing, and she sung a
Yeah.
few leads, and it's just like heart opening. But it was great, and to see Jai actually came to the kirtan,
Wow.
him and Nubia, and that was really, really sweet. The guy is just, he's so kind, right? As I feel like, especially as he's aged, there's just nothing left but love and kindness in this human. And I think that's just a testament to years, decades, a half a century of doing bhakti practices.
Yeah. This daily devotional practice,
Yeah.
and and because he's so, I follow Jai's Patreon as well.
Oh, you do? Do you pay
Yeah.
for it?
Huh?
You pay for it? Is that something you have to pay for?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
but I mean just a few
like a
bucks or
monthly.
something,
Yeah.
but and happy to do it because he's just such a shining light, in this, especially here on the West Coast and in the Neem Karoli Baba tradition. Jai's been such a blessing in so many ways. Um, but he's like, the thing about Jai too is that, like, even if he's not on tour or doing his kirtans or even recording, I'm like, he's like, his devotional practice is so steady, and he's got his morning thing, his daily morning thing, like dialed, and it's just, uh, we were talking about it this morning in the sadhana, just about how important that is, to have that regular thing that you do when you don't want to do, and you do it when you do want to do it, and
Mm,
you kind of do it. It's like that non-negotiable thing, and it really pays off, and you can see it in somebody like Jai who's been doing it for 50 years or something. um
yeah.
just
What does he do in his mornings? What does
oh oh
he
well
speaks about this kind of stuff?
oh yeah, well, he just talks about, I mean, like, he oftentimes will share, I mean, he chants every morning. I don't know the specifics of what he, but he, every morning he has a chant practice, and he oftentimes will share something like, oh, here's this melody that came out during my morning chant practice, and he'll
Mm,
share that to his Patreon group,
mm,
and um it's just very sweet. And he just did this thing, I'm trying to remember the name of it, where he um like makes like songs just on his iPad or something, because you can get the Final Cut Pro, or you can get
right.
like
I'm thinking at Logic for iPad too.
Yeah, I didn't mean Final Cut Pro, but even just like
GarageBand.
iMovie. He was even just
Oh,
making them,
iMovie.
or yeah, GarageBand. That's right. So he did like, he was just doing it on GarageBand on his iPad, I think. And he did 108 over the last few years, where he's been like releasing these to the Patreon crew of like 100. And he just reached the 108 mark. I'm trying to remember what he was labeling those as, like Bhakti Bliss or something. I don't know, but they were coming like every week or two in my email box. These little impromptu,
That's
songs
awesome that you belong to that. Would you mind sharing your password with me? Just kidding. That's so not bhakti, right? I have no problem doing that with Netflix or Hulu
yeah,
or whatever.
not
Not
with
Jai
Jai.
Pal's Patreon. We don't share passwords for that stuff, right?
Yeah, but don't worry, I'll send it to you.
No, I don't. I
Kidding.
don't want.
I'm
I don't
kidding.
want.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding,
But
everybody.
he's such
I
a
thought you were going to ask me if I would send you the information on how to sign up for it. We love you, Jai.
No, absolutely. He's been such a light. When I first started, when I was first getting into this stuff, I'd been into it for a couple of years, but then all of a sudden there was a kirtan camp that he started doing. And I was like, what? A kirtan camp? You can go for 10 days or however long it was and just study kirtan. This was the greatest thing. And yeah, Daniel Paul was there playing drums, and this was really cool. The final day of it, we did a 24-hour kirtan.
What? Really?
Yeah, we did a 24-hour kirtan, and everybody took multiple shifts, leading throughout the 24 hours. And it was awesome. It was really cool. We learned, well, I think they learn we learned a couple chants. It was mostly Jai singing and telling stories, which was good enough. I mean, we all felt so much beauty just being around that. I think nowadays, because he still does it, he teaches more melodies, or I think he has the fellow from the Bhakti Breakfast Club help out with that stuff. Do you know his name? I can't remember.
No, I can't remember his name either.
Yeah, good man. But anyways, yeah, that was a real breakthrough time for me, having that time with him. And
well, that's interesting that you say that, though, because I had a very similar breakthrough moment with Jai as well, that we went to when we were just getting started. We went to a weekend workshop, Bhakti workshop, with him at Brighton Bush up here in Oregon. And there, Daniel Paul was there. It was, mostly just Jai singing, telling stories. And of course, we got to soak in his amazing hot tub, spin breaks. John called it soak and sing, sing and soak, So, but it was really helpful for me, because Jai and Daniel were just super supportive, and I remember that was kind of, because we went around like in a circle, and we were on like the closing circle or whatever, and I kind of made this like announcement to everybody that still really sticks with me, because I just said, all I want to do is sit on a cushion and sing to God. But I was also really struggling, because I was like, well, how, in my mind, you couldn't actually support yourself doing that, like it just felt like it was a great practice. It was a great, thing to do. But like the idea of being a bhakti teacher or bhakti kirtan singer who actually got, paid for it or whatever. And so I was kind of freaking out, because my bank account was draining and all I wanted to do was chant kirtan, and I remember Jai said, he said, he said, you know, it's possible, you know, he said, but he had just gone through some really serious physical stuff. He had like an illness or something, or pneumonia or something, and he'd had to cancel like a whole year's worth of touring and everything. And he, you know, said that they went through a really, really challenging time financially, but he's like,
Mm.
but it's possible. And there was that moment that was like just like the little bit of like, wow, it's possible. Jai said it was possible, you know. And I'm looking at Jai, who's there leading the workshop, and going, okay, well, it must be possible if he's
Mm.
there doing it. And I remember as well too what Daniel Paul told me. He said, and then it came to him, you know, he replied to what I said. And well, and that's actually when everybody started calling me Pillow Man, because I said all I want to do is sit on a pillow and sing to God. so my friends started calling me Pillow Man. But Daniel said, he said, you know, you won't make a lot of money, but you're going to meet some amazing people along the way.
Mm.
And that has just held so true, you know. And of course that's just when you can't even compare the two, you know.
What I was getting, I thought you were going to say, you will not make a lot of money, but you will be so rich.
Oh, well, yeah.
Which is, I think, is the same as well
He
too.
was saying that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
But
You
that's
will
really
be so
stuck with me, you
rich.
know. And it's true. My God, I mean, the people that this practice has led me to, and the doors that the Chalisa, especially like in India, the Hanuman Chalisa just continues to like just open doors.
Mm.
And I just get to meet so many people and have so many wonderful experiences. I wouldn't trade it.
I agree, man. You know, I'm thinking about Jai, and he really opened up the door by doing these kirtan camps
Mm,
to say, like, everyone can do this. It's
yeah.
not just me, Bhagavan Das, and Krishna Das, right? You can start doing this, and you can start your own kirtan practice. And this was I think, a pivotal moment in the Western kirtan movement, because a lot of people started coming through the years. I went to his very first one, but through the years, many, many people, and even today, he's still doing them.
Yeah.
And there's big crowds coming. But he gave us permission
Mm,
to start doing kirtan, and that was very, very important. And I think and he's a bhakta, and we know, what I really loved is first of all, we know what a musician he is, and we know what a
mm,
singer is. But this guy tells the story of Ramayana so well, and we
mhm.
don't get that a lot. Maybe you get that on the Patreon, but we don't hear
No, not
that
really. He doesn't.
so much. But he tells the Ramayana so well. So every day he would tell us story time. He'd say, okay, everybody lay down in Shavasana, and he'd start telling Ramayana for a half hour. And he is a beautiful, beautiful storyteller. And just the amount of knowledge and wisdom he has is, he's right there. You know, we're so blessed to have an elder like him. And you know, I just love him very much, and he's been so supportive for me. And this is really interesting about Jai, and I'll share this, and then we can move on. But Jai and Nubia, I had never seen love like these two before. I had honestly never seen two humans relate to each other in a loving, you know, partnership like these two did.
Mm.
You know, usually people are relating to each other, and they're in marriage or whatever, and they can't stand each other, right? But
Wow.
these two loved each other, and it was like just being near them, you could feel, and you were brought into that love, the way they looked at each other and the way they spoke to each other. They treated each other literally like embodiments of divinity. Like,
Mm.
Nubia was Jai's Ishta Devata, and Jai was Nubia's Ishta Devata. Like
Wow.
they were worshiping the divinity within each other. And I had never ever seen that before. And it really opened me up to possibility. And
Mm.
what's really interesting, it was like 2 months after that, that my wife, now Jacqueline, she just appeared in my life.
Mm.
So, and then I had the opportunity to practice that new way of being in a
Mm.
relationship. So that they've really affected me. And I tried to express that at the kirtan on Saturday night, because Jai just moved to Grass Valley, and I made the announcement that Jai was there, and that he was living in Grass Valley, and the place erupted. They were so happy. I hope
Oh,
you
yeah. What I mean,
felt all
because
the love.
he's going to start regular kirtans there, and they're just like so lucky
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
have him there.
Yeah. NorCal's amazing,
Mm.
man. What a vibe. What a vibe. So
Mm.
maybe we should get going. Let's
We should get
let's
going.
dive in.
Let's
Yeah.
do it. So today we're going to look at, let's see, why don't we do our opening prayers first?
Yes, let's do our opening prayers. So everybody, we always start by invoking the Guru, those great beings that have walked the path before us, and that supreme consciousness of love and truth and wisdom that has eternally been streaming through the ages as the divine teacher. Akanda mandala kadam vyaptam yena chara charam tatpadam darshitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha.
Salutations to the Guru who revealed to me the supreme truth, which is unfragmented, infinite, timeless divinity, and which pervades the entire universe.
Agyana timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha.
Salutations to the Guru who opened my eyes, which had been blinded by the darkness of ignorance, by applying the divine ointment of self knowledge.
Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha.
Guru is the creator, sustainer, and the destroyer. Guru is directly the supreme spirit, both manifest reality and the absolute. My reverential salutations to the glorious Guru who resides in the hearts of all beings as the true self.
Hari Om Bolo Shri Sadgurudev Bhagwan Ki
Jai.
Shri Baba Neem Karoli Santa Maharaj Ki
Jai.
Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. All right. So, everybody, what we like to do is spend a few minutes reflecting on one of the lines from the Hanuman Chalisa. So, we're working our way through the Chalisa, and today we are on Chopai number 15. And Chopai number 15 is kind of a continuation of Chopai number 14. The translation goes like this: Yama Kubera and the guardians of the quadrants, poets and scholars, none can express your glory. And the Avadi: Yama Kubera Digapala Jahante, Kabiko Bida Kahisake Kahante. So why don't you get us started here, Govindas? Share some reflections on this.
Oh, right. Well, as you mentioned, this is, I think this is the only time in the whole Chalisa that two lines are really inseparable.
Mm-hmm.
there are many other lines that can be grouped together, but these two lines run into each other as really Tulsidas trying to express the same singular purpose, that none can express your glory. And our last episode, we heard that Narada and the Munis and Saraswati and Brahma, these great divine beings. And this week, we're hearing the god of death, Yama, Kubera, the god of wealth, the Digapalas, these sort of guardians of the quadrants. And my favorite part, the poets and the scholars. Because we look towards the poets to be able to describe the undescribable. The scholars are the ones that seemingly they know everything intellectually. And Hanuman is beyond that intellectual capacity, his glory. It's just one more time, Tulsidas just sharing with us, Hanuman is so incredibly vast, powerful, light, beautiful, gracious, compassionate, all giving, that we just
you can't help yourself, can you? You just want to describe it so bad,
but you just can't. The words just don't touch it.
Yeah.
Ram Dass always used to talk about the finger pointing at the moon. Whatever we say, the human words cannot express it.
No.
But there is just this something, and I know we talked about this last week, and I feel it when you chant the Chalisa. Pillow Man. I was going to say Das, but we got a new name, Pillow Man.
Oh, man.
Pillow Man. When you chant the Chalisa.
By the way, I'm sitting on a pillow right now, just so you know.
Like you're touching it. There's some essence there that we can subtly feel, that nectar. And I think that's what we were talking about today in our Chalisa sadhana, like through the discipline, the daily devotional bhakti practice, we can touch these nectarous feelings and sentiments that somehow were connected to the glory of Hanuman.
I think that's really it, though, isn't it? That this urge to like put it into words or describe it, right? Just it can never do what we're trying to do. But maybe through kirtan, through japa, through satsang, through these practices, that's how we can imbibe the grace of Hanuman. That's how we can maybe begin to not necessarily understand it, because that word, it goes boom right to the mind, doesn't it? To me, like understand, but like embody it, and that's not the right word either, but like feel it, like that, have that emotional connection to Hanuman is that's Hanuman is so interesting too, because he is a Gyani, like he is, you know, he knows all the things there are to know about the Vedas and the and Sanatana Dharma and on and on and on. But yet it's like, but the bhakti of Hanuman, you know, that's the really the radiance, like for me, you know. And so so trying to connect to Hanuman, like if you were there with Hanuman and you had Hanuman's darshan and you sat down, I mean, like, would you really like want to talk about the Vedas?
I think I would just start crying.
You have first after you finish crying.
I don't think I would stop. We're a bunch
Right.
of
But the point is
crybabies.
that, but and he would start crying.
And he
And
would
and
start.
you would just hug each other and say Jai Shri Ram as you cried, because that's the connection. The Hanuman is in that emotional realm of just love, you know. I think you, but if you could stop crying, you would just you would just want to start singing kirtan.
Yeah,
If you could pull yourself together, you know, eventually you would just want to sing the praises. You would want to just talk about Ram and Sita and Lakshman. You would want to ask him, like, what was it like when you flew to get the Sanjeevani herb? You know, what was it like when you got a hug from Ram? Was it electric bliss? What was it? You know, you wouldn't want to be like, so tell me, what did you learn from Surya, your guru, about the Vedas and the, you know, and yeah, so
Let me ask you, do you find yourself crying a lot more than you used to?
I cry all the
I
time.
know, right? Like every day, tears are welling up in
You
my
know, at
eyes.
Kirtan on Saturday, I mean, I literally sat down and the wave, when I sat down, I looked out at the crowd and the wave of love that hit me was so profound.
I'm starting to cry. You
I
talking
know.
about
I'm crying just thinking about it. I literally like could barely speak because I was like, I was like, you know, in my mind, I'm like, keep it together, keep it together, keep it together, you know, because I just didn't want to, like, because what I wanted to do is just break down and just start sobbing. And I was like, I don't think this would be a great way to open the kirtan.
Sometimes I'll just be looking at my daughter and I'll just start crying.
Oh
And she's
yeah.
like, Dad, what are you doing? Why are you crying? And I can't express. I try to say
Yeah.
it's just the love that I feel. It just brings tears to my eyes.
Yeah. And sometimes in the morning sadhanas, you know, and it won't always be like something you say, or sometimes it's even just during the recitation, you know,
Yeah.
and one of the lines or something will just like smack me upside the head. And next thing you know, I'm like struggling to get through the recitation because it's just overwhelmed by the beauty, you know.
The flavors of bhakti.
Mhm.
Maybe we should start a bhakti band, kirtan band called the Bhakti Crybabies.
Or just the bhakti babies.
The Bhakti Baby. That's funny.
Hold on a second. I need to wipe the tears away from my eyes.
I don't know if these tears are from crying or laughing. One of the two.
Oh, I'm not crying. You're crying. But you know, it's like we talk about all the time, you know, just it's like the softening of the heart, you know.
Yeah.
And the tears, the flavors, right, of the tears are so vast as well, because sometimes the tears are just like, oh, like I literally almost started crying yesterday on the walk with my dog.
Right.
Because there was this squirrel came out into the light, and the sun was kind of coming through the tree, and it just boom, it hit the squirrel, and the squirrel had like a nut or something in its hand, and it was so perfectly silhouetted, and it just became so still because and it was so beautiful.
I know, the
this
beauty of
little
bhakti.
this little squirrel, you know. And I thought immediately, I thought of that squirrel that helps Ram
Yeah.
build the bridge. And I thought that squirrel was carrying that nut. to
Oh,
go and offer it to Ram, but that's that's part of the beauty of being sort of imbibing Ramayana and these
mm,
stories all the time is that then like it just uh, that just came to me as in that moment that
mm,
was just a squirrel crossing the street to
yeah.
most people, right? But that was a squirrel trying to find Ram to give him the nut to help him build the bridge.
Oh, I love that story.
Oh, and then it ran away into the bushes, and I was like, Toko. I was like, just wanted to hang out with the squirrel. But
Um, Gosh, yes, yes. Well,
anyway,
there's something else I wanted to share as well too about this. It was just coming up for me. Yeah. So at the end of every year at our retreat in India, I mean, we've just spent 2 weeks together singing on the banks of the river, going and sitting at the feet of holy teachers like Vanamali or Puja Swami. We've been to the most beautiful artis, nonstop kirtan, it Maharaji's temple in Kenchi. I mean, darshan after darshan of these most beautiful murtis that are just so fragrant, and there's this desire to go home and tell everybody about how awesome it is. And I've learned from experience, you get home and people don't really want to hear it, first of all. And no matter what you say, well, they first of all, they sit and they try to listen to you.
yeah,
But as you're trying to tell them how incredible the things, there's a part of them they'll sit first 30 seconds, they're listening to you. Second 30 seconds, they get their phone out. Next minute, they're starting to put the dishes away. And like, you just can't express
you can't.
what you've just experienced in 12 days.
Yeah, especially when it's stuff like, and then I put my face on the dirt in that little temple, and I could smell Krishna's feet, or whatever you said.
Right.
And you're like, and then I started sobbing because I realized that the mother was supporting me. And, they're like, what the heck are you?
And it reminds me of this line.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
so I tell them, don't even try. If people want to really sincerely keep it in your heart as a precious jewel. People say,
that.
how was your trip? Oh, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. But you don't need to try to tell everybody, but keep it in your heart. If someone really wants to know, okay, get your phone out and give them a little slideshow or whatever it may be. But it just sort of reminds me of this line.
Yeah, and you know what I noticed actually when I fall prey to that, and I do that I have that precious jewel of an experience, in my heart, and then I try to express it, and then the people don't get it, and maybe I even experience a little frustration because I'm not able to, right? That I actually feel that jewel is diminished.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
And I think that's why even teachers say, like, if you get a mantra from a teacher, don't tell anybody what the mantra is.
Yeah.
Just keep it in your heart as the jewel.
Yeah.
That's
That's
great teaching, because I know for myself, I want to tell everyone how great everything is.
Yeah, I know.
Like, that's like the Instagram syndrome, right? Everyone's telling everybody how wonderful their life is.
Yeah.
But then they feel like shit as they're walking through the day, because
you're like, oh, and then you maybe even start doubting yourself. Like, that person didn't think it was wonderful when I had that darshan in the dirt, in that little temple, and they didn't understand it. So maybe it wasn't that wonderful, and maybe I'm just making this crap up, and and then now that jewel is just fading and fading and fading.
Yeah. So
that's really great. That's really great. So I think, the one last thing maybe before we move on to our hit of the day, about this line specifically that I love so much though too is I feel like because Tulsi Das includes himself in this list in a way, right? When he says poets, because
Yeah.
Tulsi Das is a poet. He was also, as on some levels, probably a saint, or
And he was a scholar,
at least,
right?
right? Exactly. He knew Sanskrit. He, from a very, very young age, he was learning the Vedas and things like this. But there, to me, when he says, "I can't do it," that that also is pointing towards a sense of humility.
Mm.
Because I think in a lot of realms, um like rock stars are poets as well, right? But I bet a lot of them actually think, no, I'm freaking laying it down. You know what I mean? Like, this is the truth, man, and I'm bringing it, and everybody should feel lucky. And there's like a lot of ego around that. Whereas Tulsidas is saying, I'm trying to express his glory, but guess what? You know, I can't.
Mm.
And he says that all the way through Ramcharitmanas.
Mm.
So many times. He's talking about Bharat and Ram's love for each other. And then he'll say, but as if I could even possibly begin to describe that. And then he's talking about how much Hanuman loves Ram. And he says, as if I could ever describe how much Hanuman loves Ram.
Mm.
And this comes up over and over and over and over. And it's like, it's just, to me, every time I hear him say that, it's a reminder of humility, that he, even in the midst of what he probably was famous to a certain degree, and had people coming to him all the time for things and putting him up on a pedestal and asking him to perform miracles and et cetera, et cetera. But he's just constantly coming back to this, like, but I'm just a mere mortal. What do I know?
I think very few bhaktas are as famous as Tulsidas. His fame, I mean, pretty much everyone in India knows who Tulsidas is.
Yeah.
Generation for probably the last 500, 400 years.
Sure. I mean, it's hard for us to know how famous he was in his lifetime.
Right. But now everyone's heard of Tulsidas.
Yeah.
And it really captures what bhakti is all about, is being humble.
But also you can, not just the humility, but you really feel in the way that he talks about Ram and Hanuman, the love, just the pure love that Tulsidas has for Hanuman and Ram, to this point is so pure that he had darshan, that he was able to literally bring Hanuman to him, which is amazing.
And give Hanuman to all of us.
Oh man.
Right? Through this Chalisa that still 400 years later is growing in massive popularity.
It's amazing. I mean, even we sang it the other night. I couldn't believe how many people knew the Chalisa.
I did too. I thought in Grass Valley, I would not have expected that.
And
it's become like the national anthem in India. Have you seen this video of a whole stadium singing it before a cricket match?
Yeah. I've seen this. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like 100,000 people or something.
Yeah. Or the other video that before a flight took off, the whole, to invoke Hanuman's protection, before somebody starts singing it aloud in the flight, Air India flight or something, and then suddenly everyone in the whole airplane starts singing it.
I love that.
Could you imagine that before the flight takes off?
Well, that's interesting. I always do my Chalisas,
I do too.
The flight takes off. I can't take off without doing at least one Chalisa,
So that means we're not the only ones.
Yeah. But most of my flights tend to be in, like, here, America. I'm not sure if I just started singing out loud, if everyone would join me.
I don't think so.
Probably not. So I just keep them to myself.
But in India,
Yeah, actually, it's true. Maybe I'll try that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try that. I
Do you
got some
imagine that?
short flights.
White boy starts singing the Chalisa. The whole plane starts singing.
Oh
Oh
man,
man,
I
that
might just have to try it. I'm flying on my own a few trips because I'm coming in early before Melissa. And but I mean, Melissa, if I did that with Melissa,
she would, honey,
never.
stop, honey, stop.
Oh my God, she would be so horrified.
Oh my God.
Even, oh my God, went out for breakfast the other day. I love you, Melissa, by the way. We went out for breakfast the other day, and sometimes before a meal, we like to chant yum,
Yum.
like om,
Yeah.
and because of course it's yum because we're eating food, but then it's also the heart chakra bija sound. So we like to do that, and we had done it the night before at dinner, and so then we were out for breakfast. There was like 5 of us out for breakfast on Sunday morning, and they were all like, we have to do the yum, and I was like, okay, but only if we do it really loud so everybody in the restaurant hears it. And they were
Oh.
all like, yeah, okay, great, except for Melissa. She was just like, she was so embarrassed.
Oh my God.
It's so cute.
Oh my God. Wow.
It's pretty cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should we take a hit?
Dude, I've been waiting all day. I carved my whole day
All right.
open for this hit.
So everybody, we like to take a hit of LSD every time we record a podcast. And
what do you mean by that? A hit of LSD?
Well, this is the OG LSD,
Oh,
Govind.
the
We've talked about this before. Everybody should know. This is love, service, and devotion.
We're not a bunch of acid heads. Is that what you mean?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. But we are bhakti heads.
Hey, did you see that? Do you see that message that we got on YouTube?
I did not. What did it say?
Do you want me to read it to you?
Yes, if you can
let me pull it up. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Somebody talking about LSD?
Well, yeah, because we talked about it and someone left a comment. And let's see if I can find it. Just hang tight, everybody. Yeah, so somebody dropped some acid.
Stop.
What?
They dropped some acid or LSD, OG LSD?
No, like some actual acid. Do you remember what episode that was that we talked about that? I don't remember.
Goodness, we've talked about it every episode.
No, but I mean, here we go. I found it. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
I'll leave this to be anonymous, although this is a public comment on YouTube. It said, funny story. I watched your episode 15 yesterday, and you guys talked of LSD. And I had this blot of LSD on me for months now that I was waiting for an opportune moment to consume. You guys talking of it made me feel like this was the clue that I needed from the universe to take it. Now, by the way, everybody, just full disclosure, we are not trying to promote LSD use. Okay.
This was the opportune moment.
Yeah. and it did. And by the way, we are laughing with you, not at you.
No, of course. Who is it? Come on.
I don't know. It's not like a name. It doesn't. It's like a funny.
I gotta know who that is.
It's like a YouTube, at 165 or something. So I can't tell who it is. And I did. And and my oh my, it was such a great trip. It reminded me of that Neem Karoli Baba telling Ram Dass that you take the medicine and you might be able to talk to Jesus for some period of time. And that's kind of what happened to me. Most likely it was my own ego and imagination making stuff up, but I felt Sri Krishna, and he said that he loved me. And I cried and I cried and I felt so amazing. It's really something to hear Sri Krishna whisper, I love you in your ears. My, oh my. Anywho, that's the story. So, I mean, isn't that beautiful?
That's so beautiful. It
I
reminds me whenever I used to take mushrooms and acid, back to our early conversation, I would just cry for hours on end. And what is those tears? It's just walls breaking down, right?
Yeah.
Walls crumbling around the heart.
But Krishna whispering, I love you in
What do
their
you think that
ears.
feels like? If Hanuman's hug feels like electric bliss, if Lakshmi's foot massage feels like divine pleasure, what does Krishna saying, I love you, whispering, I love you in your ear?
Oh, I think my heart would just explode.
Oh my
Just
gosh.
love explosion. There's just
Love explosion.
I don't even know if I don't even know if I could handle it.
I love that. Whoever that was, thank you
Yeah,
so
thank you. And
much.
I hope that was okay that we read it on the show. I think obviously if you wrote it in the public comments and you're willing to share it. But so thank you for letting us share it and thank you for sharing it in the first place.
And hey, if I mean, I'm not like propagating drugs or anything like this. I mean, on some level I am, because I think they can be tremendous medicines, but if we can legitimately feel Krishna, God, whoever saying, I love you, I love you, I love you so much, this will change our life.
Yeah.
If I experience that, that would change my life.
Yeah.
To feel the unconditional love of God that clearly. And that's why these medicines are used, that's why they're used, because they are sacrament, right? If they're used in that way, I think they are nothing but potentially something beneficial for us in our life. Now they can come with certainly negative side effects, and I don't think habitual use of anything is so good. But as medicine, as Maharaji said, it can bring you into the room with Christ.
Or in this case, Krishna.
Krishna.
Wow. That's the
And what was his second? Better to, but then he said, but then you have to leave.
Then you have to leave. Yeah. You can
He said,
go
but
in the
better
room.
just to stay in the room. Well,
Yeah.
how do you stay in the room? I think through, has been sort of a theme of today, a disciplined, regular, daily devotional practice.
Nonstop, endless Rams.
Yeah.
Ram, Ram, Ram. That's how Neem Karoli Baba stayed in the room, right?
Yeah.
Ram, 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 Ram.
All right.
All
So
right. So
roll your sleeves up, everybody. We're about to take a hit.
Yeah. So
Take a deep breath.
what we do is we share a quote from one of our Bhakti teachers or an influential Bhakti practitioner or maybe a saint or a sage. What kind of LSD are we going to imbibe today, Govind?
This is a strain from Maharaji.
Oh, this is the good stuff.
And we chose this one today because we are in Navratri. Navratri is the 9-day festival. Happens twice a year, spring and fall. But it's a 9-day festival dedicated to worshiping God as goddess, worshiping the Divine Mother in her three major forms, Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswati. Sometimes even just called, as they in Kenchi, just called Durga Puja. So, but we chose that because there's a beautiful alignment here. And Maharaji says, see all women as mothers. Serve them as your mother. When you see the entire world as the mother, the ego falls away. One more time. See all women as mothers. Serve them as your mother. When you see the entire world as the mother, the ego falls away. How you feeling, brother? Is it coming on?
It is. It is. I'm just closing my eyes here, trying to see if I can feel what it would be like to see the whole world. Why are you laughing?
Just I can see you with your eyes closed and you're just tapping in so deeply.
Well, I was trying to.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's how you started laughing
I'm
at me.
sorry I interrupted you. Okay, I'll zip it.
It's too late. It's too late. You spoiled it.
You're saying to try to feel, or
Yeah, to really like feel like what it would be like if you could see the whole world as the mother, you know. And I don't know, something struck me as you said that too, about um how there's this like there's kind of this weird dichotomy in the world these days where, you know, there's this kind of contrast between like this patriarchal system that kind of runs everything from government and to, you know, um to even the household. And then but then you also have this kind of theme that runs through like a lot of like macho guys about, you know, it's sort of like, you know, you gotta like, but you gotta treat your mom good, you know. There's this kind of like this I'm not being able to describe this very well, but like uh this concept that Neem Karoli Baba is throwing at us, I guess what I'm trying to say maybe is that it's so far from actually how the world kind of runs, you know. And and I feel like I'm trying to imagine what it would really be like if we could do this, you know, if we could really treat all women like they're our mother. Because the amount of abuse that women go through, and the amount of, you know, stuff that women go through, I mean, that they clearly are not being seen as mothers in those moments, you know. That um I don't know, this one's really challenging me in the moment right now, to put words to it. I've always loved this quote though, you know, because I love my mom. And um and I love women. I mean, I, you know, as a yoga teacher and in this world, you know, I spend more time around women, that's for sure, than men, especially here in the West. You know, it's very different in India though. You know, the yogis are, you know, a lot more men yogis, but here in the West, you know, you sometimes we'll go to teach a whole workshop, 30 people, I'll be the only guy. And that must happen to you all the time, G.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sure does.
So I don't know, what are you feeling about this one?
You know, one thing that I'm getting here is, you know, women have been objectified because man's lust is unquenchable.
Mm.
And when we sexually objectify women, we're certainly not seeing them as mothers. If anything, it's just stoking the fire of our own ego that much more. And I think this has been probably an overriding mentality amongst men and our, you know, inexhaustible testosterone, you know, for maybe since the beginning of you know, time with men. So I think Maharaji's tapping into something. I think this is really, for me, it's pointed towards men.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying all men, of course not. There are certainly men that have really tamed that that thirst and that lust. But it's one of the hardest ones, right? I mean, it's like food, lust, sexual lust. This one, I mean, look at our pornography culture, and every billboard with a woman, beautiful woman showing their half showing their breasts or body. It's the culture is trying to hook us in through that. And in that, it stokes that lust even more, that desire, that wanting. And they're using like women as bait for that. So Maharaji is saying, it's like revolutionary. This is not the way we see women. He's saying, see women as mothers, because the mother is pure. The mother is unconditional love. When we get to the essence of mother, mother is the first guru. So if we can begin to shift out of that lust and that objectification and that desire and that wanting, and see women as embodiments of Shakti, as embodiments of pure love and nurturing energy, I think when he says the ego falls away, meaning we'll feel closer to God.
Yeah.
We'll feel connected on a way that we've never. And so I think this is a really big prescription here for us, to work with men, for us men to really work with our sexual energy in that sense.
I'm getting a couple things here. Is that one, I think he's giving us this prescription, like this is like how we should, if we're able to be like this, right, the ego will fall away. We can think of that as a macro, on a micro level, like our own personal ego, but on a macro level,
yes,
right? Global consciousness ego will fall away as well, and we can get more towards unity, right, more towards oneness. I think that's one thing that's coming through. And then two, I'm thinking of Ravana. And Ravana this is what happens when you don't, because Sita Ma, she is the mother. She's not a mother. I mean, she hasn't had children in her incarnation as Sita, but she's an incarnation of Lakshmi herself. She is the mother, right? And a pure embodiment of the mother herself. Even her name, Sita, means furrow in the earth, because she emerged from the earth. She's pure Shakti. And Ravana did the opposite. I mean, he objectified her to the point that he made her a prisoner. And he told her that her only way to even survive and to continue to live was to succumb to his egoic desire to obtain her. And look what happened to Ravana. His ego did the opposite of fall away. His ego, as you were just describing, it was stoked. That fire was stoked to the point that it literally drove him straight into Ram's arrow, basically. It drove him right to his death. And not only his own death, but so many of his, demon soldiers as well. So I think we can look at it two ways. Like, this is the prescription, like this is the way out. And guess what? And if you don't do this, we have this story of Ramayana and Ravana as an example of what happens to you when you don't treat the world like the mother.
And, throughout Ramayana, it's said over and again, Sita will be your downfall. Sita will be that serpent that, her bite is like poison. But think about it. It wasn't Sita. It was Ravana's perception. And the way he saw Sita as an object of lust instead of seeing her as the mother.
Yeah. Because if he saw her as the mother, he just would have fallen at her feet.
Exactly. And I think that's what you're getting at, this prescription for humanity. I love that.
Mm. And the whole world as the mother. This I think too, it's not just women, because the whole world, I mean, look at the way that we are, and this is no pun intended here, or no pun intended. Look at the way we're raping the land and the earth, just destroy, just for our own whatever we want. We want this mineral, that oil, this, that we want, and we just take whatever we want, and we were just willing to just cut up thousands of acres of trees every day, and thousands of acres of, you know, of tundra to get oil, and to make whatever product that we want. And that's, but if we were able to see the whole world as the mother, we would never do those things. And guess what? The mother has so much Shakti and so much power. It would heal itself like practically overnight, you know, if we just had it shifted our perception, like you were just saying, Ravana's perception.
This is huge, this prescription right here, bro. I mean, think about this. If the women were the presidents, there would be no more wars.
Yeah.
It's not women. The mother doesn't start a war.
No.
The mother is the caretaker.
Yeah.
The mother is the nurturer.
Yeah.
So, and look, I don't think we can even separate this between male, female bodies in a sense. But if this consciousness of the mother, was invoked even in male bodies, right?
That's
it would be a whole different paradigm on this planet.
Yeah.
And this is beautiful that India has a festival called Navratri. And granted, listen, India is as bad as anywhere in repressing and suppressing women. But there is at least a little reverence of Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, victory to the mother.
Yeah, and listen, that whole patriarchal thing is not the Sanatana Dharma. The Dharma says that it's equal, that it's balanced, Shiva, Shakti. There's, you know, there's no one that's Sita Ram, Radhe Sham. There's no like Krishna's not superior to Radha. It's not, that's not the actual teaching. You know, the patriarchal thing is just all the men's egos out of control, trying to control things. But if, that's the difference. That's even like, the difference between most religions, and then the dogmatic expression of those religions is very, very different. And it's just the same case. I don't think that, I don't think that the real enlightened being, and then that's, so for example, we've got Neem Karoli Baba talking about women in this way. Whereas, of course, you might have like some patriarchal priest, pushing the woman to this side. Oh, you're supposed to be over here, and doing all that stuff at the temple and all that stuff that, boy, drives my wife crazy. Woo! She got pushed around by a guard once at the Kenchi ashram, and oh my God, she nearly exploded. But Baba, but the thing was, is we talked about it later. I was like, well, Baba would have never tried to enforce that rule in that way. Do you know what I mean? Baba, that was just this guy who had decided he was, I'm the guard, and and I'm supposed to keep things rolling. But Baba, he wasn't just like that patriarchal Brahmana who like wanted to have all these rules for men and these rules for women or whatever. He was coming right out. He said so many things about women.
Yeah.
So many things about women. And then, of course, even to hand over essentially, the reins to women, to Siddhima and Javantima, it was like, Yeah, I've always said that, for years and years and years. I always said if women ran the world, there would be no wars. But here's the important thing is that women allowed to be women. The
Right.
problem is now when what a woman has to do in order to succeed in politics these days is essentially act like a man.
Yeah.
Has to kind of embody that testosterone driven
Mm.
attitude. And that's not the solution either.
Oh man, this hit is coming on so strong right now. I'm being reminded when I drank ayahuasca a few times. Right now, it's like it's coming on, bro. Oh my gosh. And
That's the mother.
ayahuasca is called the grandmother.
Yeah.
And for those of y'all that have drank ayahuasca, you feel I don't know, every single time I drank it, you feel the mother and you feel the reverence for the mother. And something that's come up so much is why the masculine wants to control the feminine is because he's afraid of her power, because she's all powerful. So it's the fear that's driving the man to be all control freakish and
Yeah. It is.
I feel like I'm
It
about
is.
to purge.
No, please don't. Oh, those of you on Spotify, be happy you didn't see what we just had to see.
I got my bucket right here.
Okay, come on.
But yes, the woman Ma is so powerful, and we tend to be, as men, be afraid of that power, and that's why we assert our claws of control even more deeper into things.
Because and again, Ravana is a perfect example of this.
Yeah.
Strongest being in the whole world, boons that no one could destroy him, as rich as you could possibly ever even want to be. He had everything and all the power and strength, and yet it just was one pure woman who literally, sure, it was just perception, but I mean, she broke him down, daily refusing him. And that idea that he couldn't have what he wanted just became like a festering disease in his ego and in his consciousness, and everything else fell away. He didn't care about anyone else. He didn't care about his kingdom. He didn't care about his wealth. He didn't care about anything. All he could see, he would wake up every morning and the first thought was Sita. He would fall asleep every night and the last thought was Sita. And he was completely, destroyed by her unwillingness that she was actually, ultimately that she was proving in her purity and chastity and refusing of him that she was actually more powerful than him. And there's a moment, I think, when Ravana realizes that. And that's the moment when Ravana pulls his sword out. He's so angry at her and he's going to kill her. But then suddenly, as he looks at her there, he realizes, I could never kill her. I just don't even have the strength. And he's killed devas and most powerful warriors all over the world. And yet this one woman, Sita, just brought him to his knees. And I think you see that in so many examples, presidents sleeping with their aides, making
Bill Clinton.
I was going to leave him unnamed.
Monica.
No, but meaning like people just making
Although I don't think they slept together.
Men making the stupidest decisions and risking their entire business, their entire family, their entire livelihood, their whole everything, risking it all for just, you know, to satisfy their ego and their lust.
That lust.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
lust.
And women, they're just what well, the other quote from Neem Karoli Baba is that one pure woman is worth 100 yogis. And I don't know exactly, but we don't need to get into that, but
yeah,
too far.
No, I think we both agree, like, you know, having wives and seeing our reflection, like, my heart is so less pure
Oh,
than my wife's heart.
100%.
My
Oh my
heart's
gosh.
always trying to finagle something and manipulate something, and they're just so pure, like these beautiful flowers. Wow.
Oh, it's true. Yeah. I mean, it's like it's sometimes, you know, like I'll be doing my spiritual practice, you know, and Melissa will just be doing a puzzle or something, you know, and she'll make some joke about how, you know, like how much more spiritual I am or something, that to me, and I'll be like, I'll just always look at her and be like, no, you see, you don't even need to do the spiritual practice. I do, you know, she's the one pure woman, right? And I'm trying to be 100 yogis over here because, you know, it's like, because I got so much more crap to clean up.
Oh man.
Anyway, well, listen, the
All right.
prescription.
Yeah, my computer's about to
Yeah,
die here. I think
let's wrap it up.
yeah.
But
Beautiful.
yeah, but
Lot in there for us today.
treat the whole world as your mother. Everyone you see, maybe even everyone you see, not just women, everyone you see, treat them as your mother. We're all part of that divine Shakti form as it's taught to us. So, all right, let's finish with some closing prayers, and everybody, we just send this prayer of peace out to the whole world. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu.
May all beings, including ourselves, be happy, be well, and be free from suffering. May all of our thoughts, may all of our words, and may all of our actions in some way contribute to that happiness, that well-being, and that freedom from suffering for all, including ourselves, including ourselves, including ourselves.
Love everyone, serve everyone, feed everyone, and remember God.
Rama Chandra ki.
Hey.
Pavana Sutta Hanuman ki.
Hey.
Bajrang Bali Hanuman ki.
Hey.
Rama Dutta Hanuman ki.
Hey.
Bolo Shri Sadgurudev Bhagwan ki.
Hey.
Shri Mati Shri Siddhi Ma ki.
Hey.
Jai Jagadambe Mata ki.
Jai.
Jai Jagadambe Mata ki.
Jai.
Jai Jagadambe Mata ki.
Jai. Jai.
Jai ho,
Jai.
Jai
Ma.
ho. Jai. Oh.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
All right.
Thank you,
so
everybody.
Pillow Man, what a great session.
That was good. That was good. Oh, love you so much, brother Das.
Love you guys.
And we will be together real soon. So we'll welcome you real soon to the next episode of the Love Everyone podcast. Until then, keep it real, keep it light.
Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman,
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma. Love you, brother. See y'all.